guys, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for another one of our Patreon one-shots. As always, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel like these fine folks you see here before you, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. Link in the description down below. And right now, there is a 7-day free trial at the $5 tier where you can get access to all of our after shows for this show and all of the shows for the last 3 years. So go check that out. Join us over there. While you click on that link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, at the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the now full corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is every time that bar fills, I do something terrible to these players and their characters. And two, every single dollar that goes tipped into that jar goes back to this channel for things like artwork, editing, services rendered, and paying for cool stuff. And with that, and without further ado, I'm back in the GM seat. It's so nice. I take us into a world, a mythical world of New England. Better than Old England, and here we are. It's only for one member of the cast. The setting we're playing in is New England. We are playing in the mythical land of Massachusetts. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. Don't know if you've been there, but that's where it is. The mythical land, a fairy tale.
No, you
world.
Just made it up.
Yeah,
It doesn't exist.
A fairy tale.
Never heard of no Massachusetts.
Just like Canada. A mythical land that doesn't exist. We are in Massachusetts. We are in a small, idyllic countryside town of Haverhill. Which is spelled Haverhill, if you don't know. It's a fun town. So we are in the town of Haverhill. You four have fashioned yourselves some sort of freelance investigators. You have encountered something in your lives, in your past, that has gifted you, if you can call it a gift, with the sight. The sight allows you to see beyond the veil, see the unseen, see things that people either cannot or choose not to see. You know there are things that go bump in the night, and it is your mission to stop them from bumping in the night or from interacting with the people who do not wish to be interacted with. So the four of you have assembled here in the town of Haverhill, Massachusetts, in the early 1800s. You have heard tell that in the town of Haverhill, there is a haunted mill. So you have assembled here, and currently, you are at the inn. The inn is called the Sheaf of Wheat. You all have assembled here to get a lay of the land, to reacquaint yourselves with your traveling companions, and to perhaps start investigating. So to start us off, let's go around, introduce our characters, introduce what happened in your past to have given you the sight, and then we'll see what you guys are doing in town. We'll start with Carl Anders Oskar Sigurdsson. Carl?
Wow.
Yeah. Hold on, wait. Let me do that in very American. Carl Anders Oskar Sigurdsson. How's that?
Even worse.
Better. Perfect. Nailed it.
Well, hi everybody. I am Carl Anders Oskar Sigurdsson. I'm from Sweden. There's a famine going on over there right now, so I took my things and I went over here to the market. So I'm now hunting Vaesen.
Iquin, I want you to know
that's my revenge.
You prepared me for this by telling me there was an accent, and there was no preparation that could have prepared me for that. You sound like what every American doing an impersonation of a Swedish person sound like.
I'm pretty sure that's how Iquin really speaks, and the other way is just him trying to sound cool.
Oh,
for
sure.
Non-Swedes.
It sounds different in Swedish. I've been practicing actually for days to try to translate it into English, but I can't do it.
My throat's gone, so sorry, no Scottish accent for you.
You spoke with the cadence and intonation of the Swedish chef from the Muppets. Hurgen, Bergen, Skurgen, Flurgen, Bergen, Gergen, Bergen, Flurgen. But actual words came out of your mouth. I wasn't ready. So you've
That's
come
the
to
best
America. You've you've come to America.
Yeah, I come
What
to America. That is true.
what
What? What do you want to know from me?
what event in your past has given you the sight?
Oh, they went in my past. You know those really, really beautiful women that comes out from the forest, and the forest raw, we call them. They look kind of like this very beautiful girl with no clothes on. You know, naughty, naughty. I've heard you say it. And they're kind of like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. So I saw one, and she showed me to go to the forest, and I did. And then she told me to come very close into the forest, and I did. And then she kind of took her very sweet hands and put on my chest, and I could feel the burning sensation of love. And then I wanted to kiss her. I must confess, I wanted to kiss her very bad. And then she took and bit me with teeth and all, you know. She then afterwards she has bitten me. I how do you say, man? I felt that it was like dying, and she took her mouth away, and I was like, jag min älskade. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, my love, I said. And then she looked at something, and suddenly she ran away, and I looked down, and it was like blood everywhere, and she was trying to eat me. And I think a part of her is still in my heart, because I still love her very much. And I since then I can just see creatures like her, but I knew that I cannot let my fellow men get eaten by such things as a skogsrå.
I really hope your backstory is exactly like that.
My backstory is completely in Swedish.
That was awesome.
In the future, they'll make a cream for the burning sensation of love.
What does
Also,
Carl look like?
oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, what does Carl look like?
You see here, I have my very fine clothing, the shirt that is very buttoned up, and then it's kind of a growth material, I mean a very sturdy material that I got from my farmer. And then I have the pants that is made for walking, you know, they're brown and very sturdy as well. And the boots, they almost never leak, I can tell you as much.
Outstanding. Father James Walker is also at the table. Father James, could you please describe your character? What inciting incident gave you the sight, and anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to add that I wanted to have a serious, stern character, and I can't even do it now.
I'm glad I didn't go after I quit.
So Father James Walker was in the American-Mexican War. Served there. He's about 29 years old now. His unit was found lost behind enemy lines. You know, they were desperate to try to get back. They were low on rations. He found a small hut, which he went into and found food inside. Partook of the food, and the next morning he woke up and the rest of his unit was dead. They'd encountered a witch's hut. She'd cursed them through the night, and when he woke up, the rest of his unit was dead. He then encountered some enemy forces who, recognizing that he was a member of the clergy, took him in, kept him prisoner in a sense, but he eventually befriended them, taught them the error of their ways, and moved on. Since then, he's been wandering the US mainland, finding things that God would want him to fix.
Okay. Selma Blackwood, you're up next. Who are you? What do you look like? And what was the inciting incident that gave you the sight?
So Selma is a young woman. She looks no older than 18 years old. The experience that she had was, well, she's an orphan to start. So she grew up in a orphanage during her early teen years, and she noticed weird things started happening to the kids there. Maybe they not so weird to anyone without a keen eye, but the children started disappearing one at a time, one here, one there, and they would always be told by the really creepy looking ladies that they were being adopted and they went to new homes, but something just seemed off to Selma. So one day she snuck out in the middle of the night and followed the gray ladies, as she called them, through the woods, trying to find out anything she could about these kids who were being adopted. And she came across these gray ladies who take care of all the kids at the orphanage, people that they are supposed to trust. She came across a horrible altar of human sacrifice, and the gray ladies were sacrificing these children to some unknown thing she didn't know. And all around were altars, were skeletons of children, and she knew then and there the fate of her friends. And out of fear, she fled, she ran, and she's been living off the land and on her own ever since. And today we find her in the sheaf of wheat. She is dressed in a traveling cloak. Her hood is pushed back, and she's got really like dark auburn hair with freckles and green eyes. And she's got pants that are all covered in dirt, like she is used to traveling and living in the woods. And she's sitting at the table with her other three compatriots, and she's eating a huge, like a bunch of chicken, and she's like just munching away.
So aggressive.
She makes those sounds too.
Yeah. And last but not least, Meredith Varick. Who are you? What do you look like? And what was the inciting incident that gave you the sight?
Meredith Roderick Varick is a barrel-chested and immaculately dressed, wealthy, well-spoken Scottish gentleman detective. He is, for all of you that have seen Glass Onion, you know what I'm going for. But I'm not doing a wacky accent. There is only room for one. All right, and yes, he's very well educated and has solved many vexing case. He's well known, perhaps the other side of the pond in England, Scotland, and Europe for his exploits. He always solves a mystery, but there is one mystery from his past that he cannot solve. He was once a married man. His firstborn was whisked away in the night by a fey creature. And ever since that fateful night, he has been studying occult lore, collecting word-of-mouth folk tales to hopefully one day at least discover what happened to his firstborn.
Okay.
And that has brought him far from his home to be clearly the financier of this group.
Okay. The four of you find yourself inside a little inn/tavern called the Sheaf of Wheat. It is a warm and cozy place. The fire is kept roasting by a rotating group of people who take turns blowing on the bellows. Sort of every time the bellows is struck, it sort of casts a warm heat out into the room here, a dry heat out into the room in here. However, everyone in the room looks like they are maybe a little down, a little sleepy, and several people, and by several I mean at least half of the room, looks like they are sauced. They look like they are deep in the cups, as some might say. Drunk, as some others might say. The four of you sit here. You have been tended to by the waitstaff. You all have a plate of warm food. You all have a mug of ale before you. What are you doing as you sit here? You have gotten your group together. You are here to investigate rumors of a haunted mill. What is your first step on the investigation?
And,
Being a farmhand, I think Carl Anders Oskar would just be more of a following type. He doesn't want to do, like, he wants to save mankind, sure, but he doesn't want to do unnecessary work. So he's going to wait for someone to order him to do something like the farmer used to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and Selma would be talking through mouthfuls of food, and she'd wave a drumstick around. And so it's probably best that we ask around and see who else has who has experienced these supposed haunting sightings in this mill. Yes.
Yes, indeed, Selma. I believe we may talk to the local clergyman, maybe, Father. Might be able to move a few lips with a little of the old sacramental wine.
Don't think we need to resort to imbibing too much to get people to talk. We're here to help them after all.
Yes, but they're simple and God-fearing people. They may not want to open up to us.
I can always go and talk to them if you want me to. Father James, should I go speak with the other locals a bit?
I think you're best suited to talk with the innkeeper. They generally have the most information on what's going on in the town.
Innkeeper? Yeah, I can do that. I'll walk away, find the innkeeper immediately. Just like work needs to be done.
Okay.
So, then, do we know if anyone's been hurt or anything of the such?
Sorry, are you asking me or are you asking the group?
Both.
You know what caused what. So there were rumors that there was a haunted mill, which, sure, rumors are rumors. What drew you here, great question, was that someone recently died in said mill. The rumors are that it was a ghost that killed this man, a spirit, a specter of some kind killed this man. And as you look around, Carl, I will get to you in a second. Selma, roll me an observation.
Do I have observation? I have some observation. Here we go.
3 successes.
Ay, shit.
Hot damn. Starting off with a spicy 3 successes. You look around the room, and perhaps it is that you have worked together with Carl before, but everyone, Carl is, as he has said, a farmhand. He is a bit, he's a workaday lad. He's got calluses on his hands. He seems like he's known the joys of a good hard day of labor. And so do most of the people here at the Sheaf of Wheat. They all look like they should be at the mill working. However, no one is at the mill working, and everyone seems to be nursing or heartily enjoying some ale and beverages, and everyone again looks like they are a little down. Your best guess with a 3 is that the mill has closed down in some capacity, and these are more than likely the employees of the mill. And with nothing to do all day and no job to be had and no pay to be made, they are drinking their sorrows away here in the Sheep of Wheat. So you notice that as you chow down on chicken. Carl goes to see the tavern keep. Father James and Meredith, what are you doing?
Meredith, he would be keeping his eyes peeled for either the local doctor or perhaps even the mill owner themselves.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. Father James.
Father James is just going to pick up his glass of wine and find the closest spot to the fire he can get, and take up residence there, waiting for people to come to him.
Okay. Now, are you dressed in priestly raiments? Do you have your collar on and showing?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So we follow. Let's just keep wanting to say your name as American as I can. We follow Carl to the bar essentially. You see an older gentleman, probably in his mid to late 60s. He's got a scruffy, kind of scraggly white beard, comes down about 4 or 5 inches. And he is bald on the top, but he has long sideburns. He's dressed in suspenders, and he looks like he's dressed as smartly as he can afford. And he is adjusting some unlabeled brown bottles in the underneath of the countertop there. He sees you coming towards him, and he kind of hefts himself up with old man noises, and he says, "What can I do for you, son?"
Oh, hi. You're the innkeeper. I am so sorry, Mr. Innkeeper. Right?
My name's not Mr. Innkeeper. It's Thomas. But
Oh, Thomas. I know Thomas from back home. Very nice people. Yeah, Mr. Thomas, is it then?
you got a touch of the old country there in your voice.
Yeah, I'm from Sweden. I don't know if you know, but there's a famine going on over there right now. So I moved over here to get some more money and food. And so far, it has been very nice. Language is a bit troublesome, but otherwise, I am very happy here.
I was unaware of a famine, but I'm glad you're able to find work.
Yes, all my father and my siblings, they thought it was best to try to immigrate, one of those two. Don't not talk about me, Mr. Thomas. I am here to try to help you and help all the villagers in this little village town of yours. So I need to ask you some questions, if that is all right.
I'm not really looking for any help. We have enough staff here, but you're welcome to ask me any questions you have there.
Oh, excellent. I heard there were rumors of a ghost that was somewhere in the mill, and the ghost have murdered someone, killed, death.
Yeah. I understand.
I'm so sorry. Language is a bit hard.
You're fine. You'd best be talking to Aaron. And he points behind you at a table where is a what you can only describe as a depressed man. He is in a thick thick sweater that would make even the Scotsman himself long for home. A thick woolen sweater. He points to him, and you see that there is a collection of cups at his table. He seems like he is probably the deepest in his cups. He says, "Aaron, he lost his brother in the mill. taken by a ghost. He was there firsthand. He'd know better than I would.
Oh, thank you. I will go do so.
Of course.
I will turn around and sort of very undiscreetly point him out for the rest of the group.
Perfect. You all see him just point at the sad man on the side, like he's up against the wall. He's very like deep in his hand, elbow on the table, several mugs of what you assume to be empty ale, and a few glasses of what you could only assume to have been some sort of whiskey of some kind. Yeah, so you see that. Carl points him out. Do you continue over to him, Carl, or does anyone else move over to this man?
I'll continue over to him, see what the rest of the group does, but I'm definitely going to go to talk to him.
Okay, so you start to head over
Barrett
there. Go ahead.
Pick up his glass and join Carl at the other table.
Okay. James and Selma.
I think Selma will hang back, and she's just gonna watch out for other people and how they're reacting, because I also assume that we heard this whole conversation that Carl was having with
I can't imagine you couldn't have heard it.
yeah, with the Mr. Innkeeper.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Thomas. So she's just gonna take stock of who's paying attention to the conversation and if anyone else is reacting.
Okay. Both are correct. His name is actually Thomas Innkeeper, so it's Mr. Thomas,
Oh.
Thomas Innkeeper. Mr. Innkeeper.
He changed it by deed, Paul.
Yeah. He legally had to. So, Carl and Meredith head over to Sad Aaron. He is looking down. You see that he's like swilling a glass of something brown, brown and clear. You can tell that it's some like I said, some sort of whiskey. He looks up, and you can't tell if his eyes are bleary and red from sadness or from drunkenness or some combination of both. But he looks up at you and slurringly says, "What do you want? What is it?"
I believe commiserations are in order. My profound condolences.
I don't have any money.
No.
Thomas, no, my dear boy. Whiskies, doubles, here, please.
All right. And he proceeds to bring some over. What you want to drink? You want to drink with a drunk?
Some say they're the best people to do it with. Much experience.
All right. And he like leans on the side, and you can see that he like supports himself with the wall and just sort of kicks the chair out towards like not towards either one of you. It just went straight wherever his foot was. And the chair's like...
He can see three of them.
Yeah. The chair just sort of like across the wooden floor. He says, all right, well, he just put it up. Put it. Sit. What can I do you for?
We, my companions and I, we would like to see if we can help you at all. Maybe... if we can rid this lovely little town of yours of whatever is plaguing it.
Oh,
the mill.
I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you what's plaguing the town. There's a ghost. It's a ghost in the mill. It's haunted. It's.
Oh, you hear that?
Huh?
Meredith, we were correct. There are a ghost in the town.
There's a ghost. As I said it. There's a ghost in the town, right? And I was there. And my brother Peter was there, and it killed him. The ghost. It swept down. There's a shadow. There's a shadow ghost. It swooped down like a great bird. It swooped and it from the scaffolding, and it killed him. It swooped down and he fell from the top, and he fell down in the middle all the way, and it wasn't even the floor. It wasn't the floor that killed him. It was the fright, the terror of the ghost. He's seen it. He's seen it. And Mr. Langstrom, he called for the doctor right away, and they took the body away for I don't know. It's about money and something. It's on property, and it was insurance or something. I don't. And I think that we're all gonna walk. We're not gonna come back there. It's too dangerous. It's ghosts. We can't walk there, and we won't go back until there's a proper funeral at least. And then the ghost is gone. And yeah, and he is shouting this. Everyone can hear.
Father James, Selma, come over here. Father, we need a funeral.
Yes. Is there an undertaker? I would happily instruct him and cover the expenses. Would only be Christian.
The ghost already took him under. It's too late. It's too late for any kind of doctor. He needs to be put to rest.
Yes, and I will pay for the arrangements.
Oh, well, I couldn't accept that. You're a stranger in the town, and you don't even know. You didn't even know Peter. It's a family. It's no, sir. You're too. It's too much. I cannot.
Selma will walk over and she will put a plate of food in front of him. And she will put a hand on his shoulders, like, my condolences, kind sir, for your loss.
I ain't got no money for your condolences.
They're free. And she winks at him. And she will sit down next to him.
Everyone comes, they all come by and they say it's sorry for your loss, but no one is trying to get rid of the ghosts. That's all I want. I want revenge. I want justice against ghosts. Spectre.
I know. In these times, you must ask yourself, who are you going to call?
Fuck off. Well done. Well done. Well done. I got a full facepalm from Norm. Well done. Oh man.
What's that serious character going for you, Norm?
Yep.
I hate you all.
And if we can find out who this person was in life, we will salt their bones.
Yeah.
And send them to perdition where they belong.
I don't know. I just saw a thick black shadow sweep down like a giant bird, swooped from the shadows, and it took him down off the scaffolding, off the rafters, and he was dead before he hit the ground.
What was he doing in the rafters, if you don't mind me asking?
So we were working.
In the rafters.
Repairs, yeah.
Ah, right. And
there are always things that need to be repaired.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna look around the room because you said these were mostly mill workers.
They seem like they have the build of like of a laborer for the most part.
So he's shouting, and is everyone else like paying attention, and are they like nodding along, or are they like,
I mean, it's hard not to pay attention, right? Because this guy's being so loud. And by and large, what you can see is everyone's just sort of like, they've heard the story before. They live here. It's a small town. But there is a lot, like when he says we won't return until the ghost is gone, he needs a funeral. There's a general sense of agreement with those statements. No one's saying anything to this guy. It's clearly he's grieving the loss of this Peter. Yeah.
Okay.
Mister,
Go ahead.
Mister, when I get drunk, on the Saturdays, I always like it's nice to go out and sloss. I mean, fight. If you would like to, we could go out and I take some drink with you and we go out and have a nice little fight on the outside. Would that be good for you?
Uh, he looks to you and he says, "He's trying to fight me.
No, I'm
this is a joke."
trying to do you a favor. I usually, you get a drunk on what do you call it? You get a drunk. You go drunk on Saturdays, and when you get drunk, you get a little rowdy. And then back in Sweden, we like to go out and fight a bit. And I'm telling you, we can have a nice little, friendly fight outside just to make you feel better.
He looks to you, and you can tell that he's trying to like focus to see one of you, and he says, "Well, I'll tell you what. Whole mood shift. I'll tell you what. This isn't Sweden, and I don't need to. And I'll fight you right here." And he goes to stand up, and his thighs hit the table, tipping over one of the glasses of whiskey. And as he's like falling back into his chair, he just whiffs in your general direction and clatters back in the chair. And he says, "And another one." Clearly thinking he won that altercation. He lifts a glass and begins to drink. It is the spilled glass, and there's nothing in it. As he begins to
super confused.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's happening.
Perfect.
Yeah, and Nora will address will be talking to him. Well, to Mr. Aaron, it'll be like she's talking to him, but she's going to kind of sit up and look around the room, and so she's talking to everyone here. Does anyone have any other experiences with this mysterious presence in the mill other than what happened to Mr. Aaron here and his brother?
And have there been any other suspicious deaths associated with the mill?
Mm-hmm.
The tavern erupts in conversation at these two questions. I would like specifically Father James to roll me a vigilance. Roll me vigilance, Father James. Okay. Perfect. So you ask these two questions, Selma and Meredith, and the tavern sort of erupts in conversation, right? It's like when you ask a class a question and no one raises their hand, they just start shouting the answers. You piece together that everyone here seems to have a story to tell. None so sad as Aaron. The two of you who are asking, so Selma and Meredith, roll me observation. Roll me observation, both of you.
Can I argue ranged combat?
No.
No.
Sure can.
0 successes. Can't blame me for trying.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
I've played with you enough that I absolutely can. So it seems like everyone has some sort of story to tell. And Selma, it gets almost overwhelming as everyone is like, they're not like getting up and coming towards you, but they're all like talking over each other. But the short answer to your question posed was yes. Everyone seems to have a story to tell. Meredith, you are slightly better able to parse some of this information. And a lot of what is being said can just be coincidental. It could be the wind. A lot of the things could be easily explained. Nothing compares to Aaron's rendition of Peter being swept down from the rafters and dying on impact. But there are strange things like I went into the room and I felt a cold chill. I swear all the windows were closed and 3 of our brooms fell over. It must be ghosts, right? Like shit like that. Like definitely like little small town superstitions. When someone says ghost, everyone starts to see every crack of a twig as a ghost. You get that they believe that this is true.
Yeah.
They are convinced, whether self-inflicted or there is actually a ghost, they believe there's a ghost. They have all signed on to not go back to work until there's no longer a ghost. But no one has a story that compares with Aaron's.
And she's gonna speak to Aaron now. It's like, oh, one of our compatriots here, Father James. Would you like to speak to him? Maybe he can offer you words of comfort.
He kind of looks up to you and looks over to the amorphous black shape that he can see standing by the fire. And he says, I'll talk to your father. Don't you worry, little lady. And without a roll, you're fairly certain he thinks he's going to talk to your dad. As he slowly puts a hand on the table and scooches himself out and up. There's a heavy hand on your shoulder, which is what he thinks to be reassuring because he's going to talk to your dad. But you know, as him steadying himself, as he stumbles over to your dad, and he says,
He's 29 years old.
yeah. He says, Mr. Father, I spoke to your daughter. She said that you needed to have a word with me.
But my good man, I was grieved to hear of your loss. We're here to help. We're here to help cleanse the mill if we can. So we're looking for any information we can get, particularly from maybe the owner of the mill. Or is there a local clergy I could speak to?
There's a there is a church in town. He's just traveling. He comes on Sundays. Ralph is the owner. He's new in town. Ralph.
And Ralph has an office somewhere here in town?
He does?
That was a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. It sounded like he was trying to tell me. Yeah. It's I can show you. I can take you there.
A brisk walk would probably be good for your constitution right now. Let's show me where this office is. And he'll kind of nod to the rest of the crew.
Right. You see as he starts to like stumble out, you see someone else just sort of stand up and like give you like a look as they guide this Aaron back into his chair. Clearly seeing that he's too drunk to be of any assistance. And this person turns around and says, I heard I can take you. It's fine. If that's
thank
okay.
you. Thank you, Mike. No, by all means.
Okay. This way, please.
I think Selma will go with him.
Mm-hmm. We'll file out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if everyone else is moving away, Coral will also follow.
Carl. Yeah, so he leads you, this mostly sober mill worker, leads you through the town and up towards the mill itself. You see it is a windmill. You see leading towards the mill, you see it is on as you get, you can't mistake the sound of a burbling river, a running river, as this is a two form mill. There is a small fan on the front, a windmill on the front, and there's also a water wheel on the side. You are led up to this, and you see the mill itself, and you see there's a set of offices next to it. The young man, probably just slightly younger than Father James, leads you up there, and he says, "That's the offices of the mill. That's Ralph's offices, and Martha should likely still be there. She tends to the books and everything else. If you need anything, she should be able to point you in the right direction. Can you really stop ghosts?"
Yeah, of course we can.
Oh yes, we do it all. Strange
So
noises in the middle of the night, feelings of dread in your basement or attic, everything.
So it's in there, the weather grinder.
What?
The weather grinder. It's that where we can find them.
No, the offices.
Sir, thank you so much for taking us over here. We didn't catch your name.
Theodore.
Theodore. And
Oh, thank you, Theodore.
yeah, do you have any experiences with the ghosty thing?
Can you tell us what it looked like?
No, ma'am. Nothing so much as Aaron. Strange doors closing. A stack of flour falling down when it shouldn't have. Windows thrown open. Nothing as serious as what Aaron experienced.
Yes, and when did Peter die?
Oh, it was 4 days ago.
4 days ago. And you said this Ralph guy, he's new to owning the mill?
Oh, yeah. It was owned by another man named Neddard.
And what happened to him?
Oh, well, he
Was he beheaded?
he died.
He died under mysterious circumstances, like Peter?
Oh no, he died of old age.
Oh, I see.
I don't suppose he ever made a vow to wreak petty vengeance on anyone that took the mill from him.
Oh, I can't imagine. He was a very nice man.
He was very well liked. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when did he pass away? When did Ralph take over?
Oh, he passed away well over a year ago, and Ralph has only recently come back to town and to take over. It's
Like 4 days ago?
no, it's been a few months. It's family business, miss. I don't speak ill of family. Ralph was Neddard's grandson.
I
He claimed that the mill was family and that it belonged to him, and
Very good.
Oh, it's very important to pass down your egendom, property down into the family. My father was very peculiar about that as well before we moved.
I can only
So-
imagine.
It's very good.
Mr. Leonard died without a will?
I don't understand.
A last will and testament where you want to leave your neat stuff to your antecedents. I mean, yeah. Those left behind.
I never heard of it.
Yes, it's a thing we have where I'm from.
Well, can
It's
I ask you something else? How long has you seen it's been a ghost? Was it a ghost when Neddad was there, or was it only Ghost now when Ralph has been here? How long has it been? Was it 4 days ago it started, or was it 4 days ago it kind of went so bad you do not want to stay there?
The last thing you said. I don't recall any kind of ghost talk before when Neddard was there, and there have been strange things. Everyone said it. Like I said, the barrels falling over, a crate breaking, a line snapping, for months now, and
Hmm.
now that you say it like that, it well, I don't know if it connects, but it has been ever since the mill reopened.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. Thank you for that.
Varich is gonna give him a couple of bucks, couple of silver dollars, and been like, go and enjoy a drink, and if you can, make sure that Aaron gets home. He will have a terrible head in the morning.
Thank you, sir. Very kind of you. Best of luck, and I hope that you can do as you say and take care of these ghosts. If you need anything, I'll be back at the Sheaf Wheat for the next I don't know, a little while at least.
Thank you, Theodore.
Thank you, Theodore.
You're welcome, all of you, and good luck. And he turns and heads back in the direction that you came from, leaving you guys standing. You see the mill is they're both in front of you, the mill and the offices. The mill sort of forward and to the right, the offices sort of forward and to the left. You see that there is a light on in the offices. There is nothing going on in the mill. It is darkened and seemingly empty / abandoned. What do you guys do?
As we're walking up, I imagine at least Carl is going to start walking towards the offices, but also ask you in the meanwhile while we're walking up. Okay, so it's been 4 days since he died, but the ghost has been since they reopened, and it was kind of like a big bird that flew down and did something to his brother, so he died while falling and then hit the floor. Have I understood it correct now?
Yes, I assumed his heart just gave out on him of shock.
Yes, he alluded to the fact that he was dead before he hit the ground. What do you think, Father?
Well, I think you may be putting way too much credence in the babbling of a drunkard. Maybe we should try to get some more information from someone else.
Do you want to
No.
go check in the offices? And she glances at the mill as if she wants to go in there.
Definitely. I think we should inquire of this Martha and see what we can ascertain from more level-headed people.
Yes,
Be
or
good
this
to-
Ralph fella is going to be in the office, 2 Scotch bottles deep from the bottom drawer.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to know, what kind of, or if it is a ghost, if it's one of those, what am I saying? The ghost that is only at night, or if it's a day ghost, or if it's just, they make some of the Vaesen very angry.
Yes, I don't think this is they wouldn't really be doing repairs at night. That doesn't seem very safe to me. So
That is very true. But back at the farm, we work from before sun up till after sundown. I mean, sun is only up 2 hours, so it's kind of easy. But
that sounds interesting. Carl.
That is Sweden. It's very nice in the summertime. Then the sun never sets. Then it's always sometime.
That's true.
But yeah.
So, Father and Mary, do you want to go talk to the Miss Martha?
Yes.
Yes, let's go.
I want to go check out the mill. Anyone opposed to that? And she pats. She like has a rifle on a shoulder holster, like over her shoulder.
I can do that if you need some help, Selma. Or do you want me to go and talk to the other people? I can talk to them, or I can follow with you. Whatever you think is the correct way to do.
As much as I would love you to interview Martha, I think you should
Oh, I
go
can
along
talk
with
to
Selma.
Merta. I know a
Yes.
Merta back home. Merta is a very nice name for a woman.
Well, we'll
they'll
arrange
pass-
the dowry then.
they'll pass on the compliment, I'm sure. And she will pat if that's okay with you, like when she kind of pats him on the shoulder and kind of guides him towards the mill with her.
If you
Oh.
encounter anything and need us to render assistance, shoot.
Oh yes, I'm
Well,
sure. If we run into anything spooky, I'll let you know.
On the way while we're walking there, Carl is going to tell you a lot about super boring details about farm work.
I can't
She
be the only
listens.
one that just wants Eichmann to role play that whole scene.
You're not.
Please, no.
You're not. I want Eichmann to tell
And
us all
that's
about
why,
Sweden.
folks, you should join the after show here. You know, it's it's free at the moment. Once you've had Carl teach you agriculture 101,
In
there is not
broken
an
Swedish.
There is not an agricultural college in Stockholm or Malmo that won't take you.
No, Carl the hold on, let me hold on. Let me try no inflection or accent or attempt to pronounce this correctly. Carl the farmhand absolutely grew up near Uppsala.
You were so close. I'm so proud of you. It's Uppsala, but otherwise you were completely correct.
Nailed it.
That sounded exactly the same.
I understand it does to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so so Carl and Selma are headed towards the mill itself, and Father James and Meredith are headed towards the offices. Outstanding. We will follow Father James and Meredith first as this party splits. The two of you walk up a stone pathway towards the adjacent but not connected offices. You see that there is one room is illuminated in there by what you assume to be some sort of candlelight or lantern or something of the kind. You see that it's not the front room, but there's like a room behind it. You guys can see through the windows. As you approach, the door is not open, but it's also not locked. Who is going in first, and what is your game plan?
Just gonna knock on the door and wait a moment, and if they don't immediately say "come in," hop head around. You know.
Yeah. You knock on the door. You don't hear a come in. Perhaps because they're too far away to hear your knock. You're not sure.
Father, shall we go in and see if we can?
Yes. After you.
How should we deal with this? Straight
we
up?
should. Yes. Why would we do it any other way?
Some people are. Some people have a habit of clamming up.
I've
Been in
tend to find
the
that
business of getting information out to people as long as I have.
I have the opposite experience.
Well,
People tend to
usually you
open
must
up.
deal with Catholics, and they do love to confess.
I think everyone loves a good a tale if it's getting something off their chest, whether they whatever denomination they are.
Perhaps so. Such is my fault to be the only pagan here. Just gonna go on in.
Okay. You head in. Father James, do you follow behind?
Yeah, I just follow along behind.
Okay. The two of you head in through the dark first room. You see another closed door in front of you, and you can see light is peeking out from the bottom of the jam. Do you knock, or you just head into that room as well?
Gonna knock, be polite.
You knock, and you hear a startled noise coming from the other side. There's a shuffle of not furniture, but definitely like a large, like maybe like a box or something like that. And the door handle twists open, and you see a youngish woman. She's in her early 30s. You see that she's in a nice like bluebell dress. She has an apron, but the top is sort of folded down and tucked into itself. So it's just like the lower part. And she does have a little bit of dust on her dress, and her hair is a little bit frazzled. Looks like she may have been moving things around or organizing something in here. But she looks to you and she says, "Can I help you? I'm sorry, the mill is closed."
We would just wanting to make some inquiries about the trouble you're having here. Are you Miss Martha? My name is Meredith Rodney Varich, and this is my associate, Father James Walker.
Are you inspectors?
No, nothing of the sort. We would like to, if we could, to help you with your ghost problem. We are of a fashion ghost hunters.
Oh, it's local superstition. There's no such thing as ghosts, first of all, and second of all, there wouldn't be a ghost in our mill. If you want to help, you can get the workers back to work.
Yes.
Ridiculous stories.
We could investigate thoroughly for you, then go straight back to the charming local inn and tell them they've nothing to fear.
Oh, that would be great. I've been inside the inn. I've seen no evidence. The young man, he was a carpenter, you see. He fell. He simply fell from the rafter and died. The doctor looked at him. There's nothing strange or untoward happened to him. He fell from a rafter and died on impact. It happens. It was quite a high fall. Anyone would fall from that height. He simply slipped. All this talk of nonsense about superstition and ghosts. And she looks to you, Father, and she like does the sign of the cross because that sounds like malarkey. I couldn't. I don't know where this is coming from.
I'm afraid Catholics do rather believe in ghosts, Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
Listen, I'm not going to get into it with you, but the Holy Spirit is different. They believe it's a ghost, like a specter of evil, and there's nothing of the kind. It's just a mill. Just needs to be prepared, is all.
Exactly. That's why we're here. We're here to help you dispel any disbelief of whether this is a ghost or not. But to do so, we just need some information. We're trying to find, where there's smoke, there's fire, and we'd really love to know where these rumors come from. Is there a history of this sort of experiences within the mill?
I don't know. I'm not from here. My husband, his family is from here. They have a home here, and I'm unaware of any such occurrences, ghosts. And she's very dismissive about it. The town hall has records. They might be able to offer more. My husband was headed in that direction anyway. You might catch him on the way back. But this is just the front office. We just have our books for the mill, for the purchase and the sale, and nothing of the kind of any reports of ghosts. I've looked through almost everything here, and I haven't seen anything of the like. Because that's ridiculous.
So you don't have any logs of incident reports or any such thing that might shed some light on prior to you taking over, whether this is something that was experienced previously?
Oh, the mill has been not out of operation for the last 3 years. the previous owner he took ill and was unable to maintain running this. And as far as incident reports, what I have found date back several years, but they're simply like hand caught in grinder, foot caught in the rope riggings. It's all regular, everyday, mundane occurrences.
Mike, can I see if she's hiding anything or if she's being open or honest?
Yeah, roll me observation. As far as you can tell, everything she's said has been, at least in her opinion, the truth. Like, it is what she believes is true. She has not had any evidence to the contrary. I will say, with that one success, you did note something in what she said to you, which at the time didn't sound relevant at first, but now that you're thinking back on it, you were just told that Ralph, the owner, his grandfather was the last owner of this place, and Martha just told you she's not from here. Her husband's family has a house here. Nothing about his grandfather being in charge, and that seems like it would be, pertinent to the conversation you're having. So perhaps there is some level of untruth to either what you've heard before or what people are being told in town.
So Father James will just say, so what about any family records? Given this mill's been passed down through the family, is there any family records or journals that might offer some more information?
Roll me manipulation.
I can do that. I'm good at manipulation.
Can you?
I can.
Great. She looks to you and she says, it's just so much work. No. And she says it very exasperated. There are no family. There is no. Any records for the family would be at the town hall. We're not. I don't know why he thought it would be easier. We're not family. We just purchased the mill. My husband has it in his mind that if the town thinks that we're somehow tied to the locality of this place, that they would trust us more. And I think it's a farce. His family owned a summer home here. There's no relation to the mill owner. If there were family records, it would have passed from him to the town hall in the archives, not here.
Well, then I think our next step is to visit the archives and perchance happen upon your husband.
I hope the best for you. He will not be in a good state if you ask the same line of questions. Nothing against you, but he is quite sick of the talk of ghosts and the lack of work being operated here.
Well, maybe we can convince him that we're here to help. And Father James will just kind of nod and raise an eyebrow at Meredith.
Well, the very best with your labor disputes.
Thank you. We need it. And she sort of bids you farewell and closes the door as you guys turn. The two of you exit the mill offices proper. Where are you headed? Are you headed directly to the town hall? You do know that two of your companions are inside the mill somewhere.
I think we'd just head back to where the mill is, just to see if we can see them easily and then inform them where we're going.
Great. Yeah. So we cut back in time across to the mill where Selma and Carl have gone to the mill. The door. Oh, God.
Selma, that's why you see we just switched from the old system to the new, where the farmers don't share equal plots of one plot, but we have a separate plot from every farmer, and then the farmers that has bad earth, they get a bigger plot, and then the farmers have good earth, they get a slightly smaller plot.
Interesting. Well, I don't know much
That's
about
actual facts. That's actual Swedish farming facts from back in the day.
I believe it.
Doubt you, Iquin. Please don't hurt me.
He's already done vast amounts of psychic damage.
The two of you make your way up the lane towards the mill proper. You see that the door again is closed but not locked here. There are no lights on. There's no fires going or lanterns flickering in the mill proper. But the two of you get up there, expecting to see nobody, and nobody is seen. What are you doing as you stand at the door?
Selma looks to Carl. I recommend we take a walk of the perimeter first. See what we can
Walk
find.
of the perimeter. I can do that. You want to go outside? Oh yeah, we can go outside the grinding mill. Do you want to go left side or right side?
I'll go left.
Okay, then I go right side, and he
And then
starts to go
we'll-
left.
Okay, and then she turns right.
Okay.
And then
The two of you, are you approaching stealthily, or are you just kind of walking and looking? How are you operating?
well, I'm
this?
assuming we walked pretty much right up to it.
Mhm.
And we're not going to go inside, but Selma's going to walk around the outside and look on the outside of the building, see if there's anything that catches her eye that shouldn't be there.
I think Coral would walk more stealthily, silently, because I mean we've dealt with Vaesens before, and I mean they can be, with all the things that have been told through all the kind of like tales of Vaesens, you should be careful. And as a farmhand, like there was an insane amount of lore back in the day between farmhands about all the shit you shouldn't do and how careful you need to be on your own out in the fields. So I would say he would do it stealthily and like being very vigilant.
Okay, roll me stealth for Carl, and Selma, you just chug on.
Coral. Do I click this one?
I have stealth. I'll be stealthy.
Okay.
Ignore conditions. I don't know. No. Yes. What?
You don't have any conditions, so just yes.
Yes. Ignore those conditions. Submit. Yes.
One. Perfect.
I am the knight.
Perfect. The two of Jesus. The two of you. That's the new hide symbol.
Being the knight was last game. That was all
Yeah.
forever.
The two of you kind of circumvent circumnavigate the mill, heading around this. You notice several things. One, that the water wheel gone, just straight up not there. You notice that there is a monstrosity of metal in its place. There appears to be some sort of new construction engine in its place to generate power to the mill rather than relying on the water. If you'd like to roll a learning, you can, to see if you know anything about what this device is.
I am definitely interested in this. Learning.
Yeah, I don't think Selma will know, so I'm not going to roll.
Nope, no idea.
Nope. This is just a large metal monstrosity. You see several smokestacks and chimneys. You see a large like furnace on this thing. But yeah, you see this monstrosity even before you get to it. You can see it. And Selma, you had gone to the right, I believe you said. You go to the right and you see that there is, apart from the front door, there is also a bulkhead. So like a diagonal door that sort of leads down like an outdoor basement that leads into the underneath of the mill. What you assume to be some sort of either storage or something. But you do see that there is a latch on that and a lock. That one is locked. The latch just seemed to be, I don't know, not like new, but not old. It's not like this is a brand new lock that someone just put on here. The latch itself has been there for a while. The lock seems to be newer than the latch itself, but not like suspiciously new. Like it was just put on there 4 days ago.
You know how much I missed that learning? I rolled 3 1s and a 2.
Yeah, I saw that. It was You missed the hell out of it. Good thing there's no
Yes.
crit fails in this game. So eventually, the two of you sort of reconvene on either sides of the metal monstrosity. You see, there's like a slide that comes out, like a metal slide that comes out of the mill itself and into this thing, followed by like a mechanism that sort of runs back in. You could hop over it, either one of you, but basically it's you two, this mechanism, and the giant engine, so to speak, between the two of you. You guys can talk, you guys can see each other, but you have met as close as you can get without climbing over this instrument.
It's kind of like
Selma.
we know what it is. Like we don't know what it is, but it's like it's clearly some kind of like modernization.
Yes. Yep.
Of the mill.
100%.
We can definitely tell that. Okay.
Yeah. You don't know the science behind it or the specifics behind it, but it looks like it's definitely trying to modernize the mill.
Okay.
Selma, is this some from this Americat? The new things that you put instead of we have giant water wheel.
Yeah, that looks like the industrial age.
No.
What they say in the big cities is that they're just trying to make everything more, what's the word, efficient.
Efficient.
They're getting away from nature, essentially.
Oh, they want machine.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Well, let's go check inside. And she'll point out the basement. Like, this door's locked, so we might have to come back to this later.
So do you wanna go inside, or should we just stay out here?
I want to check inside. I want to see where this Peter guy fell.
Yeah, I want to see as well. Det verkar vara väldigt hard to get inside. Do you know a good way? There was something else that doesn't look so locked on other side. Yeah.
Well, the front door was open. Didn't you say that, Mike?
It was
the front door
unlocked.
was
That's the one he's referencing.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just try that door.
Okay then.
And they'll walk together to around the other side.
I don't know if you say as back in Sweden, but we say damerna först, means ladies go first.
And she kind of gives like a not sarcastic, but she gives like a thank you, and she smiles and she sachets forward.
So the two of you, I assume, join each other on the same side as you head back. We saw that, Smooch. As you head back around the front of the building, you see as you head towards the front of the building that Father James and Meredith are coming out of the other building, and they seem to be heading towards you guys. You guys can see all four of you sort of rejoin at the front of the mill as Selma and Carl go to open the door. You guys are reconvened, able to converse together as four.
Hey Meredith, Father James, welcome. We're just about to go inside. Somebody put a large machine out back instead of the water wheel.
You say they're not using the water course any longer. Well, it might not be a ghost. Could be an angry water spirit, but I'm not sure how that would manifest as to what they've seen.
It looked like a big bird, he said, so maybe it is a luft air spirit.
The shape changer.
Something upset with the move away from nature.
Yes, I have no understanding why they would want to change the water wheel. It costs nothing to run.
I live in a shack in the
like
woods.
that.
So. And she looks to Father. Did you guys learn anything from Martha?
Yes, the owner bought the property. They aren't related to the previous owner, so it hasn't passed to them. And there are records within the town hall of the previous activities. We thought it might be a good place to start investigating.
Great.
Okay.
Do you guys want to check the inside here before we go? I'd like to see where Peter met his fate.
I mean, you are already here.
Is it wise to approach something we don't know what it is yet? Without more
Forewarned is
information?
forearmed. We are uncertain as to whether there is any relevance to the story of a spectre, and it is in fact a shape-changing water spirit.
I mean,
Well,
what if
I'm
it's
not-
just a cat and we did all this for nothing?
Oh, well, I've tried herding cats in my time. My mother used to breed them. It's hard enough.
Well, we'll
Why,
be.
why would you hurt cats? They just run around.
She opens the door, but she doesn't step in yet. It's like, well, I don't plan on crawling through the rafters. I just want to get a lay of the land.
Yeah.
Oh,
If we can see what it is or what it looks like, maybe it will be easier to get to know what we are up against.
Mm-hmm. And then she's gonna step inside.
Okay.
Cautiously.
What is everyone else doing?
I will work with Salma.
Meredith's gonna grab from his pack a lantern and a rather impressive basket-hilted sword with the family crest upon it.
Okay. And Father James.
Father James will just watch from outside.
Okay.
We need someone to give us last rites if it all goes peak, Tom.
Yeah, in case everyone dies. So you are the first to step in, Selma, which I keep wanting to call you Signy. It's fucking me up a little bit.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's my fault. You head inside. It's a little dark in here, darker than it is outside, obviously. And you see there is a lantern on a hook on either side of the door. There are 2 lanterns on a hook for you to light to see more. You look around and you see that the mill itself is dusty, sooty, and flowery, as it is a flour mill. I mean, like a grain mill. You see that there are scaffolding all around. It looks as though the mill was under repairs, which is as much as Aaron had said. You look around and there are footprints, like booted footprints of men walking around here. You also see that there are like tiny like scuffly footprints, like little, like maybe like a rat, like or mice getting into it over a piece of cheese or something. They're not like moving in groups. They just seem to be sort of singular rodent-like footprints around. And as you enter in, there is a sort of like a whistly hum to the place. And it only takes a second or so before you put it together that there is a creepy, like a hoo-hoo, right? Like that kind of ghostly sound, but it's absolutely the wind blowing through the blinds, and making that sort of blowing through the blinds and the cracks, that is sort of making that that sound. You can see through like all the scaffolding and debris and detritus, the other side of this engine that you saw from the exterior. It has been placed inside. There's, like I said, there's a chute. There's all the mechanisms. It seems to function, ready to go. And there, you look like, based on the level of soot around here, it's probably been turned on and tested a couple times, despite the mill not actually being in service at this moment. And as you kind of walk through, that's it. Yeah, you kind of walk through. You see all of that. There's not really like a crime scene of where the body fell, but you can see where there's like scaffolding up high and rafters that like is clearly under repair, and you can assume that he probably fell from one of the rafters that is currently under repair.
Yeah.
Let's be fair, there'll probably be a splat mark in the flour dust.
maybe. Yeah. Is there any like in this mill? Is there any like window or any kind of vent that's big enough for like a bird to get in, such like an owl or a crow or something like that?
There are windows with blinds, like the opening closing blinds. But nothing seems. I mean, they are big enough for an owl to have swooped in and roosted in here. If someone were to have left it open, they're like. This is a stupid description, but they're window sized. You know, they're not like tiny little like portholes. They're sizable windows. So if someone left it open in the summer, a bird could have come in and roosted. Roll me investigation.
I'm assuming that's something they don't want to happen.
A
Because
bird to come in and roost? Probably not. It seems like it would be
No.
detrimental to the workforce.
But it would have been an abandoned building for quite some time. So, you know,
That is true.
Do barn owls need wow, that was awful considering how much I haven't investigated.
Anyone else who's inside can roll investigate too. So Carl, you're welcome to as well.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Along Selma's line of thinking, you look around and you're looking for things that are out of place. Everything seems to be a mill under construction. You do notice two things with your investigation. One, there is no bird shit in here. There is no droppings, meaning that likely an animal has not roosted in here. Despite the evidence of that there might be rats that could be somewhere else. They could be coming and going. And you notice the other side, the interior side of the basement door, also locked.
Do any of the scurrying small rodent prints go towards that door?
Yeah, they do. There's like a small hole in one of the stones. Like there's like one of the like it's so imagine I realize that they don't have bulkheads everywhere. So imagine like a triangular slant of stone with a door in the top of it. One of the stones is missing, big enough for like a squirrel, a rat, maybe a small weasel, a kitten might be able to get through it. Definitely not a person. You could probably fit your arm maybe up to the elbow in this hole. And there are other cracks similar to that in other places around here.
It was the same door that was locked from the outside is also locked from the inside.
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh. Selma, Meredith, have you seen over there that door that is locked? Me and Selma, we walked around on the outside and it was locked from there as well.
Yeah. I wonder what's down there. Well.
Something in the basement?
Well, I'm not really keen on picking any locks at this moment. We are on private property.
We are already trespassing, yes.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just ask out to see if whatever it is we want to come and say hi, hi son, hello.
I'm sorry, you want to go down there and say hi to what's down there?
No, I just saying it right here would be enough to see. I mean, it comes swooping down from up in the balcony, the rafters. So if we just say hello, maybe it will come and swoop down and we can see what it is. And then we can just easily run out if it's something dangerous. I feel like I'm getting more and more Norwegian the more I do this accent.
Oh no, this game's going to get you kicked out of your homeland.
Nah, it's fine. The Norwegians are funny people. It's the Danish that you have to watch out for.
Oh, the damn Danes. And the insidious pastries.
And Father James has just been standing in the doorway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Father, what did you want to do with the archives?
Just look over the history of the mill, see if there were any reports of activity beyond the ramblings of drunken people in an inn.
They don't usually submit to the archives. the drunken ramblings, mostly for the fact that those drunken ramblers were mostly illiterate.
That's exactly my point. We might actually get something tangible out of it.
I agree. Okay, let's go check it out.
So if we make double time over there.
Okay. You guys
exactly before we leave, I know that Coral can't help himself. He's like, with one foot out the door, he's gonna turn around and sort of half shout, "Hello!" Just see what happens. Just wait 1 second and see what happens.
Well, roll me.
Deck save.
Doesn't have that in this game.
Roll me an observation.
No, I'm blind.
Great.
Then you get picked up by a big bird and taken all the way to Sesame Street.
I mean, if we just got something that would, come out, we could get a glimpse, hopefully, and get something to research.
Well, I'll give you one better. I will use one of the corruption bars we have. You turn back and shout, "Hello!" As you lean into the. I'm killing it in Sweden right now.
It's in the
It's closer than you think. Yeah.
Every approving nod I get from Iquin, I'm just closer to being a Swede myself.
One way to get medical.
You turn and lean back, and as your companions start to stroll down the stone path, you kind of announce your presence, and you kind of say hello. You feel heat rising up in your face, and at first maybe you're like, "Oh, Selma was right. This was silly. This was a silly thing to do," and maybe it's the warmth of embarrassment or whatever. But you say hello into the room here, and then you start to see the fire as it slowly begins to creep out of that basement door that no one looked in, and it begins to buckle the wooden door itself, and it begins to spread across the flour on the ground, and the walls begin to catch, burning this mill with you standing in the doorway. This fire spreads far quicker than you could have imagined, and you begin to hear that sound that was dismissed by Selma as wind whipping through the cracks and blinds. You begin to hear that, and you see people that look similar enough to you, Carl. You see these translucent apparitions of mill workers over the last several hundred years, sort of rising up and clawing their way towards you as the flames sort of lick up their translucent legs as they move towards you, arms outstretched, gangly clothes tattered and ragged hanging off them as they begin to lurch towards you. What do you do, Carl?
I'm going to quickly sort of get out of the way, slam, and herrejösses, guys, there are some fire in there, and there's also a lot of farmhands, coming up, mill workers. It was fire everywhere.
What? And she will turn around.
Fire, burning. Am I saying it wrong? Fire, a lot, burning. Like candles, woods, and then it was people like me, farmhands. They were dressed like I'm dressed, and like the workers are dressed. And they would start coming
Meredith, your torch, please, or your lantern. And she points.
Yes, of course.
I've also would have slammed the door behind me as I ran out.
Yeah, as you all turn around to look at Carl and look at the mill, it's absolutely not on fire. It's very obviously not on fire.
Because if a flour mill burnt down, that would cause just even a spark in a working flour mill would cause an explosion. Would have leveled the place.
No, but I said it was. I don't think it was, natural fire, but the fire was only on the inside.
Can I roll an observation just to see how genuine Carl's reaction is to whatever this is?
Yeah, both of you roll me observation.
A lot of the things he said was in Swedish, so it usually means he's legit.
2 successes.
Carl, roll me an observation.
Also 2 successes.
That is entirely up to you to role play out. 'Cause you look at Carl with like you're trying to figure it out. Carl, what does she see?
You see someone that is like not panicky but startled. Really like something got to him, and he is like full on like trying to explain and like is hindered by the language bridge or like the language barrier so much that he's like frustrated to try to get out what he saw, and he doesn't understand if you understand him or not. So he's like a bit startled, a bit like frustrated, but definitely genuine.
Okay. It's all right, Carl. You're okay. I think maybe you saw some and she'll glance at Father James and at Meredith.
We need to work out whether this was always a mill.
And she will open the
Oh.
door and she will look.
Looks exactly the same as you saw it last.
He's gonna stand a bit away, just a few feet away from the door and Selma, but sort of in a bit louder voice, like I tried to say hello into them, and that's when it came out. So if you try, listen to me, it's pronounced hello.
Hello.
Yeah, that is good.
Nothing happens.
Okay. So, Carl, what exactly did you see?
I saw fire coming up. There was a lot of fire that all around all the fire coming up, and it didn't no explode, but it was just burning a lot. And then there were people, humans, coming out, crawling, like they were like long arms and like scary, and they look dressed like me, like the mill workers, not like Meredith. They look like workers, and then all them started to crawl against me, and the wind sound you said, but that was not coming from wind, it was coming from the door. And then when they were crawling out, they started to say like
So, dead mill workers.
yeah.
She looks at the others. So, possibly people who have died here before?
Why we were headed to the archives. If there was some sort of tragedy took place on this site and someone's come in making changes, perhaps they have upset the final resting place of these people.
Okay.
I think that is a good thing to do now. But yeah, see, Harvey, now we have something to go on. We can go on and look for fire monsters. Yeah.
All right.
Fire monsters. Okay. So the four of you reconvene, close the door, and head back into town proper, headed for the town hall itself. You get there, you see a not exactly crumbling building, but you see an old building. It seems like probably one of the older buildings here in the town. You can see like the construction has shored it back up, reapplying mortar to the stone edifice of this place. But it's a town hall. It's open to the public. You head in, and it's not a very large place. There is a basement here. It is a single story, and you see like a clerk's office which is closed. But you see a rope separating the rope acting as a door, right? So you see the clerk's office, and there's a rope acting as a door that leads down the stairs to the basement, where you assume the records and archives would be kept. The clerk is clearly off duty at this time, or out for dinner or something of the like. As you guys enter into this establishment, essentially having the run of the place. Where are you guys headed first?
I think she's gonna follow Father James's lead here.
Remember, we just act like if we're caught, we act like we're supposed to be here.
Hi. I'm kind of new to this place. What are we supposed to do? Are we not supposed to be in here?
Usually not past the cordoned off areas.
Oh,
Strange that they're open this late in the night. Usually, civil servants clock out at 4:35.
Well, the clerk is not here. The place itself is
Yeah.
open.
Father James will look on the counter and see if there's any ledger of visitors or people looking for certain items, because he was kind of expecting Ralph to be here, or at least past Ralph.
Yeah, it
So
seems
is
as though you more than likely missed Ralph by heading to the mill itself first and spending time there. But you look at the ledger. There is a pen next to the ledger, and you see that the last person entered in there was Ralph Langstrom, and the purpose was labor dispute.
Father James will just look at the others and say, I think we've missed Ralph, but we should check the records. We should head
Yes.
downstairs.
Rather.
I agree. Yeah, while we're here.
could one of you read them to me? It's still troublesome to read English. I did not have much schooling.
Me neither, unfortunately. So I'll have to leave it up to you, gentlemen.
Yes. I'm sure we will find a way of translating the information to you, even if my Swedish is very bad.
Oh, you speak Swedish? Hallå, jag skulle vilja att du översatte här.
I only read it.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry then.
That's funny. The four of you head in deeper into the town hall. You see that there's like a makeshift stanchion, right? It's just a rope between two pegs that leads down to the basement, and above the basement door you see records on there, noting that you have to head down that way. As you sort of pull the rope off and sort of hook it back on its loop and head down into the basement, you see that despite the age of this building, there is you see like there's like old like torch holders, like sconces, as it were. But there is a newish line coming in from somewhere, you're not really sure where, coming down, and you see that in the center of the room there is one electric light bulb. Not super common, but you see that there is a switch, a big toggle in there, and it like warms this bulb up, this Edison bulb, as it sort of flickers and tinks to life as it slowly warms the filament and spreads an orangey glow across the room. You see this room is full of boxes and stacks of paperwork. If Father James and Meredith are attempting to go through this, I would like a learning check from either or both of you.
I would say that Carl can't really read that well. He would probably search the place to just find papers or stuff that are obviously meant, like, hidden, like books, papers that is in a way put away so you're not supposed to find and read them. Even if you can't read what it is, you know, you can sort of tell that, this paper is tucked away in a very funny place. He's going to go search for these things.
Okay, in that case, roll me an investigation.
Yes.
And if you succeed, I will give James and Meredith an extra D6.
2 successes.
Great. So James and Meredith, you can roll me an extra 2 D6s. Meredith, you can roll 2d6 as well.
Yep. Hold up. I was trying to find me 2d6, yeah?
Yeah.
8.
Okay. So no additional successes. No additional 6s there. Okay, fantastic. So we have the 1 success from Meredith to begin us off in here in this investigation. Perfect. You so Carl, basically you're finding paperwork that looks like it could be important, just handing it off to them. That was your assistance there. Father James, nothing is striking you as important. Perhaps you are looking at a religious bent, or the information you're looking for is just not coming up. Whereas Meredith, you have a more general approach to this. And perhaps it is the wealth of your family that draws you to this immediately. The mill was super duper profitable until it closed down, like unreasonably profitable. Like if you weren't in your current line of work, you would think that there was some level of crime afoot, level of profitable. However, you do find in the records that Neddard, the person who owned the mill, a few years ago, took a trip to Boston, fell ill, came back to Haverhill, and eventually died. Unfortunately, and his estate, his mill, has been up for sale. You see that the mill has been generationally passed down to his family. However, there is no family after him. He is the last in his line, and therefore the mill has been taken up for sale. There have been several owners, basically, that purchased and then sold immediately, like less than a month. Bought, sold, and it wasn't like they bought it and then sold it for a bunch of more money. They bought it, and some of them sold it for the same amount. Some of them sold it for a loss, as in they were trying to maybe get out of there because of ghosts. And the newest owner, Ralph Langstrom, he's had it for a few months now, and he's doing his best to repair and make again profitable. Because obviously this mill has the potential to be incredibly profitable. That is what you see on one success there.
Well, it looks like the game is afoot, and our suspicions are correct. There have been more than half a dozen new mill owners in recent years. Over the past 4, they've bought and sold on for either break-even rates or lost money on the deal. So there looks to be something very wrong with the place.
Are there any plans that show who initiated the new construction?
Yes, the new construction was initiated by Ralph Langstrom.
Okay. Do these plans also indicate what would be in that locked area of the mill?
Yeah, you find like the original plans of what or the last updated like survey of the place. That is a grain basement. So it is where the actual grinder is, the mill portion. You saw like there was like a mast pole that went down into the ground. That's where the actual stone on stone grinder would be. There's also likely to be flour milled of some kind down there. What the contents of, you're not sure, but you know that per the construction or per the last survey, that's where the grinder is.
Sounds cool. Yeah.
And everything points to the new construction is a steam engine. He is trying to literally reinvent the wheel, replace the water wheel with a steam engine to increase further profitability. Why rely on just water when you can rely on good old-fashioned American ingenuity to bust out some flour as quick as possible?
I believe it was an Englishman, but there you are.
You're in America now, and that's what any
Invented
American will
steam
tell
engine.
you, that it was good old-fashioned American ingenuity.
It was American ingenuity to steal the idea from the English and make it their own.
Just like New England.
Is there anything, and Selma will look over what the men are looking at. Is there anything in there about any accidents in the mill?
Roll me learning.
I guess I can roll learning.
Guess I can read if I really try to.
No.
No.
There are nothing
You're
about
illiterate.
accidents that you've seen.
Not that would necessarily. Can she go and find the death records? Record book.
With a 0 success, you don't find one.
Damn it.
Sorry, G. You know the game. Yeah, so you find that the mill has passed hands several times, most recently to Ralph Langstrom. There, as far as the town has been concerned, there is no accidents were had over the 3 years since it fell out of Nedard's hands and into various other people's hands. But again, the people who bought it changed hands very quickly. Ralph has held onto it the longest.
Do you want to go track down Ralph?
Yeah. I think we need to talk to Ralph to get to the bottom of this.
Agreed.
Yep. This didn't shed as much light on the situation as I'd hoped. So
It is interesting that many people has bought and sold this place here, but only Ralph, so who has hold on to it long, some as you said, has had the accident. So I wonder why is that the other ones sold it so very much back and forth all the time.
Yes, it's very possible that the fact that he hasn't sold it and is continuing on with his renovations, that Mr. Peter was maybe not targeted. I'm assuming it's just he's just at the wrong place at the wrong time. But the fact that Ralph still owns this place may have been what is causing this escalation. Everyone else could have been scared or spooked and decided it wasn't worth it.
They look at that sounds like it could be the reason, yeah. Or that with the new machine he put in the steam engine. I'm just full on Norwegian now.
I can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
None of us can.
That's fine.
Everyone roll me a vigilance?
Sure.
Yeah, vigilance.
Vigilance? Nope.
Sorry, I know what skill I want you to I know what you want to do. I just don't know what all the names changes are. Perfect. Meredith, you're listening to this conversation as you're trying to puzzle together what the hell's going on. And you see Selma's going through some papers and boxes, and Carl's doing the same, and James is flipping books. And you hear a noise that could be mistaken as somebody moving a box or flipping pages or lifting a heavy object. And everyone else seems to dismiss it as such. But you, on second thought, that noise for sure came from upstairs.
Oh, he holds up his hand for silence. Someone upstairs. He hisses.
Maybe we should head out before we get caught.
All done. We were not supposed to be in here. No.
Uninvited.
Okay. Do we want to see who's upstairs? We could go up and ask you if they are. If we can pretend we're looking for them, whoever they are, they're up there.
Oh, good. That's a good idea. And she's gonna. Everyone's on board with going back up?
Yeah. Father James is already heading for the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You all head upstairs and you see a hooded lantern bobbing along, attached to a hand, and the hand is attached to a man. And he holds the lantern up and he sort of lifts it higher, and you can see this guy's face, and he's a weathered older man, you could say. Father James, I would like for you to roll me an observation, I think. Perfect. So you see this weathered old man. Norm, I love that your rolls are just on where they always are. Fucking cutter. You see this weathered old man sort of look to you, and there's like not a level of like you're in trouble or like concern. He looks to you, he sees all four of you, and he says, are you here to fix things?
We would endeavour to, yes, but we've just had a rather strange encounter at the mill.
Yes. I think I know. I think I can help you. I think I know of something that would help. Please, this way. Come with me. Come with me. And he kind of like pushes between all four of you, like parts you like the Red Sea, and he heads down into the basement.
Back where we would just work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll follow.
Yep.
He beckons you forth between rows and rows of things, and you see him go to like a stack of boxes, and he shoulders his old body against it and sort of starts to like heave and push this like 4 stack of crates, just pushing it, and he reveals a door, and he opens the door and he says, I saw you. I saw all of you inside the tavern, and I think you're trying to do the right thing, and if this is true, then I think you'll find everything you need in here. And he opens the door.
What is this section?
It's the I don't think it has a name, but I found it as the hidden archives of the town.
Oh, and you are good, sir.
Oh, my name is Tobias.
Thank you, Tobias.
I used to run the books for the mill until Neddard's untimely demise, and Mr. Langstrom saw fit to fire me and hire his wife instead. Cost savings or something. But by all means, please.
Can I, give him a look over? A random man just appearing, wanting to help us out of nowhere and being so forthcoming. It is a bit mysterious and ill-omened for dear Coral.
Why would you say that? Go ahead and roll me observation.
That's not what they do in Sweden. Okay?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, I just told you that farmhands are very much warned to just trust things that appears in the fields. This man just appeared wanting to help us out of nowhere. That is exactly the things that a farmhand would tell another farmhand not to trust. One success.
There is something off about this man, Carl. He does appear for all pretenses to be a man. It's not like some illusion. He seems to be real. He does not seem to be forthcoming with what he's telling you. Either he's lying or he has ulterior motives. What those are, you can't exactly be sure. But he is not being entirely forthcoming and truthful with what he is saying to you.
I think Carl is going to try to hide that he's sort of got onto this and just wait until it's just the man and himself left, and then try to push the man into the room with them so he can't lock us in there or run away or anything.
Okay, perfect. So Selma, James, and Meredith, you all head in to this room. Okay.
Yeah.
Carl, go ahead and make me a force check.
Body in.
Ooh. Hand to hand
One
combat.
success.
Nice.
One success.
One success.
One success.
It's a success off. So James, Selma, and Meredith, you all head in, and you see the lantern is lighting the path into this place. And sure enough, there are books and boxes in here. It does look like far more dusty than the previous room. And as you all get in, expecting to see Carl behind you, you see the light jostle aggressively in the room. And you all turn back to see that in the hand still holding the lantern, and with his other hands, Carl and this Tobias are now like shoving each other back and forth in a silent bar fight that just broke out of nowhere. As they're just, oh God, what are you doing? I'm trying to help. Stop, please, sir.
You need to come with us. Selma, Father James, Meredith. There is something very off about this man who comes and just helps out of nowhere. There something he's not telling us.
I'm just a good Samaritan. Please stop. I'm old.
He's doing it again.
Okay.
This is not how we treat the elderly.
I thought he was a young man. Okay.
No, he's Tobias is an old man.
Oh, okay.
Weathered.
Also,
Father
I
James
know
will.
a lot of Tobias, and I don't trust them.
Mm.
Yeah,
Brother James will just walk up to where they're wrestling and put a hand on Tobias and say, "It might help if you explain your motives a bit better."
Roll me manipulate.
Yeah, Meredith's going to step out and sort of open his coat a little, and there's a very obvious holstered Colt at his hip.
Okay. Okay. 2 successes here. He looks to you and he says, there are, please. And he like puts his hands up off of Carl. And he says, there are indeed spirits in the mill. It's true. I speak with them. They've spoken back to me. They are here to protect the mill. They have protected it over generations, and everything that Mr. Langstrom is doing is wrong. It's offending them, and they are just seeking retaliation. And frankly, I know you've just only arrived, but the town does not like this man, Mr. Langstrom. He rather than hire any of the strong laborers we have here, he has opted to hire his own outside help with the construction or the reconstruction of the mill and the abomination of his steam engine. And we have gone workless. We fear that he may in fact hire outside help for the running of the mill once he gets it up and operational. And even still, with the steam engine, there's not much work for us at that point. It does the job of many. It does it faster than we could do it. I'm trying to do the right thing on behalf of the spirits, and I was afraid you would try to hurt them.
We have no quarrel with the spirits. We would rather everyone live in harmony with the spirits. It's only the modern age and the new inventions that are causing issue with the spirit world.
Except they killed somebody.
She nods.
Well,
Yes.
to be fair, I met a spirit and she kind of tried to kill me as well, but she didn't. So, spirits are wild.
the spirits were their home is endangered. They didn't seek out anyone to kill. They were merely defending their home.
Well, from what you told, and she looks to Father James and Meredith. From what you said, from what Martha told you, that they don't believe in ghosts, so they don't think that that's what happened. They thought Peter it was an accident, correct?
No, and I'm unsure as to how we show them the truth. They are stubborn and single-minded. They are not intending to sell up and leave, and one man has already died on their watch.
I have a proposal that we go and talk to Ralph. We say to Ralph that he need to use the strong man of this village or town, and then when he says yeah, he will use the strong man of this town. We take him to the mill and we say hello to the spirits, so they come out, and we show him the spirits and we say these are the spirits, and they will be angry with you if you do not do the old ways, and if you do and use the strong men of this town and use the water wheel, they will leave you alone and you will get the money that you want. How does that sound?
Well, the mill used to be profitable, so why?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the wrong type of thinking for this day and age, but why fix something if it ain't broken?
Indeed. As I said when we were at the mill, water is free. Coal is expensive.
Roll me
Range combat.
Yeah, roll me range combat to figure out this mental problem.
Everybody has range combat. We're never going to use it.
Roll me just straight up logic. Everyone roll me straight up logic.
Logic. Okay.
Logic. One success.
For a hayseed, is quite logical.
Okay, cool. So for Carl, who's a farmhand, you know, this is kind of your lane here a little bit. And Meredith, it's a simple equation. If water equals X profit and steam engine minus the cost of coal equals greater than X profit, they want greater than X profit. So even if the cost of coal beats out how efficient they can be with a steam engine versus how efficient they can be with water, as long as the profit is higher, that's what he wants. That's all Mr. Langstrom seems to be caring about, is that this is a very profitable mill. If he can make it more profitable, yay!
Mm-hmm.
And that's his whole goal.
And you're assigning human motivations to these spirits, saying that they want the locals to work there. I think you're confusing them. They're purely spirits. They are just going to defend their home no matter what. And this may happen again. We need to rid the mill of the spirits.
But I mean, if the spirits always been there, but they haven't done anything until they start to do anything different, wouldn't they just be there? I mean, there is a lot of spirits on the farm. They help, they milk the cow, they make sure cow doesn't go lost. They also help to, you know, make plants bigger. So there are spirits that do good things if you just treat them right.
My homeland is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, Coral. But I
Karl
also,
Anders Oskar.
yes.
Ja, det är mitt namn.
That's
my name.
But we also have to really consider what Father James is saying. We can, in theory, we can change what the fuck is his name? Ralph's mind, but there's no guarantee that he's gonna stick to his word once we leave.
And Carl, if a pack of wolves attacks your chickens and kills them, you can't blame the chickens or yourself. They're
I'm
just
not
a wild
blaming
beast.
the chickens, or if the wolves come and attack, I could just say, shoot them, wolf. I understand, but the spirits, they protect the home. And if we show Ralph that if he does continue with the machine, he gets bad profit. But if he goes back, he will get more than bad profit, and spirits will not attack because they just want things to be nice and peaceful as they were. And I think that we can in very much make sure that the peaceful spirits remain peaceful. If we show him how it looks when they're not peaceful with all the fire and then I think Ralph will keep to his word. I mean, if he sees how bad it will get if he's not, then why would he not? He will get money as he wants, and he will get not evil spirits, which he also wants. And if he does not do that, we show him what happens. I think that is a good compromise.
I understood that one. Yes,
Yes.
Perhaps our only recourse.
I just don't think it's gonna work. I don't.
No, I don't think for a moment it's going to work, but it doesn't stop it being the right thing to do.
I mean, I can say hello again. I'm pretty good at it. Hello.
That's true.
It's
you
the
are-
years of experience.
James will look at Tobias again and say, do you has there ever been an attempt to remove the spirits before?
I don't think so. Mr. Neddard, he was aware of them. That's how I found out. I think he was on good terms with them.
Oh, but Tobias, you said you spoke with the spirits.
Yes.
Did you put out a tribute?
No. Is there a special tribute?
I don't know. These are, Amerikat, and their spirit annorlunda än what they are. The spirits here are different than spirits from my place, but we on the farm, we place out, a bowl of porridge every night, and every morning it was eaten, and everything was fine, and all the nissar and all the tomtar, they seemed to like us, so it was very easy.
I've never put out anything myself. I'm not sure if Mr. Neddard had done the same, but they've never asked for anything.
But maybe your spirits don't need porridge.
She turns. She lowers her voice so Theodore can't really hear.
Tobias.
And she says, Mr. Neddard probably is fostering some kind of summoned spirits that have been protecting this mill and making it profitable over how many generations have owned this place. Because spirits aren't going to protect a mill. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't they just, they would protect the land, but not the mill itself. So it's possible that they are tied to this mill in some fashion.
That's why I immediately thought it was a water spirit.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps we should go back and check out the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still think we should take Ralph with us to show him how it looks there. So he knows what to do when he.
We'll simply knock on his door and say, "There's trouble at mill."
Yeah, see, he
Don't believe
understands
us.
me. No, I mean, we tell him that we can solve his problems, and if he comes with us, so we can we can ask the spirits to show themselves to him as we can see them, and then just tell the spirits like, we are here to help you, and if we get him to say he will restore everything as it was. Then no no more killing of his workers. And then to make the workers happy, to be us, we just throw in that he needs to use the strong man of the village. I don't know. It seems very much easier than going around hunting all of the spirits in there. If we can just make all of them happy with one thing.
Well, it's not so much as hunting each spirit and killing each spirit, is that there's something most likely in the mill, because that's the focus of all this, that is keeping spirits there. A sigil, some kind of symbol, a bag of bones.
Oh.
You know, if we can find
No.
that and destroy it or remove it, that in theory should release the spirits from this alliance that they have.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. Our spirits back in Sweden, they're the Swedish spirits. They are very much bara. They just all the time there, all the time.
I know that you seem to be indecisive about this. It does appear as though you are doing your best to help. Father, there are some of old Medard's books here. It's not exactly a secret archive, but it is an archive. I wasn't lying about that. Perhaps they could
Oy,
assist you.
I forgot about that.
And Father James will just look for these books.
Carl, are you still holding on to this man? Just so I know.
No, I said when he put up his hand, I said that I let him go.
Okay. Where are you? Are you in the room, out of the room?
I would be out of the room. Like I would be out of the room, very close to Tobias. But I'm not like. As he started to confess why he's doing this and such, I would have been more lenient with him.
Okay.
Like let him go. Just being a bit on, like still being a bit watchful, but still more trusting than right before.
Sure. Father James, roll me a learning with a +1.
Raiders.
I am terrible.
You can also push and get a condition.
Just don't think I have the dice for it. I only have 2 dice. Maybe it's something, and Father James will look at Meredith and go, you're much better at finding things than I. Can you find any of these old journals?
Of course, old boy. I'll do my damnedest. Investigation, Mike?
Learning with a +1.
Learning a +1. Ooh, that gives me an entire 1 in learning. Love it. Nada.
Wow. No one built a learning character, huh?
No.
You're all like shooty boys and outstanding. Yeah, the two of you, actually, if anyone else would like to go, if anyone else would like to step into the room and search, by all means.
I have already declared that I have a very hard time reading English, so I'm not going to.
That's true. Selma, if you'd like to, you also get a +1 because you were told where to look.
Hey.
How do you do? You head over here, and you begin to thumb through. Each of you takes a different notebook, and begins to thumb through this Neddard's personal journals and ledgers and the etc.
Yeah,
Selma,
I guess I'm looking for specific. I'm more focused, I guess, on more spell stuff that has been passed on that speaks to what the stuff that I was just talking about.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't find anything about what you were just talking about. What you do find is this man's journal, to which he names these spirits.
Oh.
Not like a personal name, but he
Mhm.
calls them puckwudgies.
What did you just call me? Okay.
He calls them puckwudgies. Here, I'll
Oh, with
spell
a
that.
P?
I'll spell that in chat for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Quinn, can you say that with a Swedish accent?
But yes,
Yeah. He calls them
Hi
puckwudgies.
before.
He
She just says that word randomly. Fuck with these.
Yeah, if you are not from America, you would have no idea. And frankly, Father James, you said you were from the South. You also have no idea. If you are not from New England proper, you would not have any idea what the hell this is.
Oh, I'm from New England.
And chances are you may still not. However, you did roll 2 successes.
Yeah.
A puckwudgie is
Mhm.
the closest you can get to a fairy.
Mhm.
It is a, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is a Wampanoag fairy, essentially. It is like the small folk. Yes. So the Wampanoag is a Native American tribe in these parts, and it's the small folk. It is this same kind of thing as like a Celtic fairy. There's a lot of mythology around their pranksters, tricksters. They can change their size. They are playful, but they can be mischievous and scorned easily if they don't get what they want.
And they have them as far north as Prince Edward Isle, apparently.
There you go.
Not part of Canada.
Yeah, so the Wampanoag Indian tribe they're called puckwudgies. They are one of their a spirit of that. You see that in his journal, he refers to them as puckwudgies, and you also see with a second success that he has threatened them on multiple occasions. Not as a like, do what I say or else. But more of a cut the shit or else. And he has threatened them with the fear of using winds of consecration on their home.
Winds of consecration, and she looks.
Tell me, Father, did they teach you that one at divinity school?
I can consecrate things, but I'm not sure how you consecrate wind.
You say that out loud, and everyone, you can either figure this out yourself, or you can roll me a logic check.
oh, I'm gonna go with the logic.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
logic.
I have no idea.
I'm not a smart man, but my character is.
This.
Meredith, you think that having a way to create wind, perhaps like a fan or something, or some way to like capture wind, might be kind of what it's talking about as he says that. And Selma, you know exactly there are bellows inside the pub that you were at that they use to stoke the fire. That captures wind and expels it. And if you were to capture the wind, consecrate it, and expel it, that would banish them from the mill. You just need to find out where their home is.
I take it the steam engine isn't friggin' operational, because they might need bellows to start on that.
That's true. The steam engine is not operational.
Yeah.
There
Do
were.
they perhaps live in the holes in the mill?
Yeah, there was the tiny footprints that would be
Carl, Carl, roll me vigilance.
I will. Vigilance. Clickety clack. Nope. I am still completely
Lord.
stupid.
Great. Okay.
Oh, you're differently intelligent. You're not stupid.
I'm differently abled. I can speak half Swedish.
And cow, probably. But just
yes.
Swedish cow.
Yeah, move.
Jesus.
Okay, so if we can get something to create wind and get Father to consecrate it, we can, in theory, get these puckwudgies to.
Wasn't it in the place we were, the inn?
Yes, the
His name
bellows
was
by the fire.
Thomas. Yeah, Thomas, the innkeeper, Mr. Thomas was his name. Thomas.
Yes, let's
It's
go
almost
along
innkeeper.
and borrow them from him and have them back before he opens and needs to start fire tomorrow.
Yeah.
You all collectively turn to leave the basement, and you notice that standing outside the door next to Carl is no one. In your discussions and conversations, Carl was not paying attention, and Mr. Tobias has slipped out and has absconded. The lantern has been placed on a roughly similar height shelf to as not alert you to the light missing, the light being gone, as he is gone. You guys can take his lantern and head towards the sheaf of wheat.
The rather strange informed fellow seems to have done a bunk.
He's
Well-
gone to warn the spirits.
Might be that he wanted in the spirits, yeah. That's why I wanted to do the plan where we keep the spirits but tell them no more of this killing business.
I thought that's what we were going to do. We would threaten them.
Oh yeah, I like that plan. Let's go and threaten them.
I,
Still so Norwegian.
I understand your reluctance, but I don't think Ralph is going to listen. If Mr. Netter had to resort to threats, it could just end up the exact same thing.
Ja, kanske. I mean, maybe.
Well,
Are you-
we'll see what they say.
So then we're
Okay.
going to head back to the inn.
Okay,
Okay.
you head back to the inn with haste. You see that it's not much different than how you left it. You see that Thomas is behind the bar, and for sake of time, he acquiesces to your request to take his bellows.
Four
without-
scotches and bellows and whatever snacks you've got.
Yeah, he gives you some like jerky and the four scotches and the bellows. He sort of pulls a spare set out from underneath the counter and places it on there. Bills exchange hands, and you guys are on your way to the mill. As you walk up to the mill, you begin to hear screaming and shouting that is of a feminine nature. And you, as you hurry towards the inn, towards the mill, you see Martha, who is on her knees and screaming and like gesticulating wildly towards the mill itself. And you can tell that she is distraught, and she's like, "Our savings! No! Please, someone help! The fires!" As she is clearly seeing a similar vision to what Carl saw of the mill engulfed in flames, and is convinced that it is real.
Yeah, she will hurry up to Bertha and go, "Quick, go get your fire brigade. We'll try and help, but you go get the fire brigade." Or their equivalent in this town.
You see that
Civilians
she
with buckets.
does not respond to you at all. She seems to be incredibly distraught and is like almost inconsolable. You hear a bang of a door coming from the office building, and you hear a voice, "What's happening? What's going on here? Martha, Martha!" And you see Ralph Langstrom charging up the hill towards the four of you as his wife is begging and pleading at the door.
She's gone quite hysterical, sir. You better take her inside.
Do you have
Yeah.
brandy?
Somebody of your group roll me a manipulation for what's happening here, as several questions are posed to this man.
One for me.
One success, perfect.
Nice.
And two successes, great. So you say she's gone hysterical. You need to get out of here. Father James, what do you say to this man?
He just looks over at Ralph and says, Mr. Langstrom, your wife is distraught. She asked us to help with the mill, and she's quite anxious. Can you take her and calm her down?
I at once. I'm not sure. Father. Yes. And he scoops his distraught wife off the ground, who is still wailing and sort of like whacking at him, as he's not saving the burning down mill, obviously. And he hurries her away back to the offices proper. The door to the mill is wide open, and you see that the mill is clearly not on fire.
Mm-hmm.
She also saw it was like on fire. So now we need to go fix it before everything becomes on fire. Maybe for real.
Yeah, let's go. And she's
Before we go
First-
in, can I consecrate these billows?
Yeah. Go ahead. I don't think you have any. Let me see here. I don't think there's anything you need to do to consecrate them. Oh yeah, there you go. Blessing. You have a talent. Blessing. You can bless that object.
Okay.
Cool.
will
So you
bless
just
that
use
object.
use your talent once per session. You bless an object or another player. You have the blessed advantage. So using that bellows, you have advantage, which is bonus to rolls. Fantastic. It's a bonus +2 to use that. Yeah, you consecrate this in Catholic fashion as someone expands the bellows. The air within is consecrated as the four of you head in. Where are you going?
to the trapdoor.
The locked door.
Okay. You make your way to the locked door, and you see that this door is in fact still locked. There is a bit of the dust and flour that's on the ground around it. Seems to have been disturbed recently since you were here, but the door itself is still locked.
Okay. Is it a metal door, you said?
It's a wooden door with a metal latch and a metal lock.
If anyone's not opposed, she's going to shoot the lock.
Yeah, just be careful.
You
Sorry,
Behind
just
cover,
be
ricochets
careful.
about.
you load, put some powder in, you fire off that lock. It explodes the hole where the lock once was, and you are easily able to lift the doors open. You see a dark basement, a mast sort of heads down, and you see there are two rough stone discs that would grind the mill, would grind the flour. There's a rope and pulley system to lift the top disc off there. And you see an old, but you would imagine would probably still be functional, water wheel in here. And who is the first person down?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I
You
can
make your
venture
way
second.
and then Meredith, and then Father James.
Mhm.
Selma, you get down to the basement and you see the water wheel, you see the mast, you see the grinder, you see boxes and things. You see that there is flour on the floor as if this had been used, as perhaps maybe the function of the mill may be some sort of blessing or something. That the thing that Carl was talking about is using the mill might be what they what the Pukwudgies want. You get down here, and as soon as you get down here, you see rats, like dozens of rats, just start to like come out of boxes, out from behind things, and begin to swarm towards you. I would like all of you to roll me a d10.
A D10.
Yeah, this is they use cards for initiative in this game, and a d10 or a deck of 10 is the number. The closer to 1 you get, the better your chances are. Great.
Three.
So it'll go Selma, Meredith,
Three.
Selma, Meredith, James, and Carl. So Selma, you see a bunch of rats surging towards you.
She will. Yeah, she's gonna fire a shot into the horde.
Into the where?
Into the horde.
Into the horde. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me ranged combat. Here you go. Gee, there it is.
Hey, let's go. 2.
Okay, 2 successes. So what is your damage?
Damage is 2. I also have a bonus of 2. I'm not sure. Oh, I guess I could have rolled my actual.
Yeah, if you roll the gun, you actually get a +2. So go ahead and roll me an extra 2d6.
No, so
Okay.
2. So I do 2 damage.
Okay, and you have a bonus success. So you can inflict more damage. You can push them back, or you can swap initiative with them. Basically,
I'll push them back.
Okay. Great. You do that. So some of the rats scatter down. They scatter away from you. That will bring us to Meredith.
Bellows?
Currently, the bellows are held by Father James. And
Right.
I will remind you, you know that what Selma said is that the bellows need to be blown across their home.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, you're not entirely sure.
It's the wheel or the grindstones.
Could be.
We got a 50-50. Meredith will sort of draw his pistol and try to keep them further back.
Okay.
And I haven't put damage down for this. I didn't get as far as accessories.
What kind of gun do you have? A pistol?
It's a revolver.
Okay, it's a bonus of 2 and a damage of 2, and it's zoned with 0 to 1 range. So basically, if you write it down in your character sheet and you click the button next to the pistol, it'll roll with the +2. Yeah.
It's a 3.
Nice.
Okay. Perfect. So you deal 2 damage immediately, and you can deal bonus damage, push them away, swap initiatives with them.
Yeah, just keep pushing them as far back as possible. Back, you foul beasts!
Okay. So you push them back away, further and further away from the stairs and everything, so everyone else can get down. That'll bring us to Father James.
Is there a way that, given that we know they're kind of playing with people's minds and making illusions, is there a way to see through an illusion as if the rats are an illusion?
Yeah. Roll me observation. You can push if you'd like. Take a condition and push.
I'm going to push on that one.
So go ahead and roll, and then you can take the condition afterwards. Great. And so because observation is a mental, you take a mental condition. So observation, those are rats. Those are for real rats. They're not an illusion. The Pukwajis have used them as a way to get you the fuck out of here. Because most people are afraid of rats because they are disease-carrying little cretins. But those are real. Those are real rats. So that is, I will say that is your, in Vaesen you have a fast action and a slow action. I will say that is your fast action. For the other two, drawing your weapon is a fast action, and moving is a fast action. So, James, that is your fast action. You have a slow action still. What would you like to do with that?
Did Meredith clear enough of a path to either the grinding stones or the water wheel?
With the number of successes on shooting rats, yes, there is a clear path to both of them.
He's going to go and try to climb up onto the water wheel.
Okay, great. You do. You begin to climb up on top of the water wheel. That will be your action. No need to roll for it. And as you do, the water wheel is like you're moving, and the water wheel is also having some sort of like wiggle to it as you go. Not like what would happen if you like were climbing it. There's an additional sort of movement on this, and you begin to hear You can't make out what the language is, but it's definitely taunting you, and like in a like you're a duty head, like a childish, playful way kind of thing. Like you get that, like there's like giggles and chuckles and laughter, but it's very much taunting you as you do so. That'll bring us to Carl. Carl, it is your turn. What are you doing?
I'm going to go make my way over to the water wheel to protect the priest as he has the bellows with the consecrated air.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna put up a defensive position, attacking any rats with my knife that comes too close. I have like one of those, farmer's pen knife, like anything goes knife to just repair stuff, cut things, and
Cool.
cut rats if I need to.
So then I will say your movement was your fast action, and you can basically I'll say you can use cover, which is not a real roll, but it will allow you to give a bonus to Father James for dodging out of the way.
Yep.
Outstanding.
So that's what I'm doing.
That being said, it is the Puckwudgie's turn, and I would like Meredith to roll me an observation.
Cool. Nada.
Okay. 2 successes. You begin to see both you and Selma have shot several of these rats. You see the remains of rats. You see that the floor here you thought might have been flour, but in fact it's actually the crunching bones of rats. And as you sort of step out of the way of these creatures, you begin to see the bones of larger rodents and animals, and then smaller bones of maybe children, and then bones of adults. And you see this area is littered with the bones and corpses of the last attempts to bring the Puckwudgies to justice. You look up as you sort of stumble back towards the stairs, and you see that there are not gallows, but the crow cages hanging in here, as you see a macabre scene of this insanity of everyone who has died trying to be here. And you have fear. For 1 round, which your options for fear are freeze or flight. So you can run in fear, or you can just lock up in fear.
Gonna go freeze because it's serial killing Puckwudgie. It's basically all he's about. He's gonna freeze and be fascinated.
Okay, that is their turn. It is Selma's turn.
Yeah, she is going to fire again. And basically to keep protection towards whatever the father is doing.
Okay. So roll me your your pistol.
Yeah, range command. I'm gonna go 1 success.
You forget the bonus, so +2.
Oh, for crying out loud! Whoops. 2d6. 2 successes.
Okay. No successes.
No, sorry, no successes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So 1 success, you fire into the crowd. More rats scatter. That is your turn. Meredith, you are frozen in fear. The Puckwudgies are going to attack the same thing on Selma. So go ahead and roll me an observation.
Me?
Yes, you are Selma.
Okay.
Success. 1 success. You match that. You can feel something like hit your face. It's like when you go outside in like it's misty outside, and you can feel that like moisture on your face. It feels as though something was just blown in your face. And for a second, you see this like orb of a weird porcupine creature just standing here, and it like opens its eyes at you, and you see it disappear out of the way. And it's like you see it like zoom back towards the water wheel. So that is its turn. James, it is your turn.
Father James is going to look for any evidence of a home on this water wheel.
You see that the water wheel inside of the water wheel is hollow. So you see the paddles. It's a solid water wheel, not like a wagon wheel. So the inside of it appears to be hollow.
So he will attempt to blow the bellows over that hole.
Okay. You absolutely do so. You squeeze, and it like blows in like a like an old timey prospector blowing over a jug. This noise, almost indicative of a foghorn. As you pass this through here, Meredith, everything returns to normal. There is no skeletons. There are no bones here. Just the 3 or 4 corpulent rats that you guys had shot. Selma, you like rub your face and you can feel like sand almost like grinds off of your face. And you see like this like very fine, almost like beach sand, that like sort of sparkles as it like fades away. And you guys can hear, now that it's dead silent in here, the rats sort of rush by Selma and Meredith up and out of the place. And as soon as the squeaking and scuttling of rats end, you hear a noise that was just sort of in the background, which was the screaming of Martha from just a few feet away, has died down entirely. And you have successfully banished the Puckwudgies from the haunted mill. And that is where we wrap this one shot of Vaesen. Sorry.
Vaesen.
Vaesen. Everyone say it with me now. Vaesen. Yeah, that is where we wrap this one shot of Vaesen, the haunted mill in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Yeah, let's go around, do some introductions, get the hot of here so we can do a quick after show for you guys. As always, join us over on Patreon. A link down below. There's a 7-day free trial at the $5 tier. You get access to all of our after shows. While you're down there, click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And thank you so much for tipping in that corruption bar. We will start with El Profo. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm El Profo. You find me wherever El Profos are found. And you like people with the site, do you? You like people with the site? Well, I've got a tie-in about people with the site in Glenbrook, and I'm working on it. It's going to be on the wiki very soon.
Okay, hell yeah.
Check out the wiki. It will have stuff about this game. You know, if we continue, even more.
Perfect. Speaking of stuff about Glenbrook, Iquin, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Well, I am the friendly neighborhood Swede who tried my hand at doing a half Swedish accent and became Norwegian. I mostly hang out in the Discord, so come join us in the unMadeGaming Discord, where I sometimes run off-the-camera games, mostly Call of Cthulhu. I also want to invite you to go check out our Mastodon server, where you can move away from the Twitter and move in and have fun with us on Mastodon instead. And that's where you usually find me on the internet.
Hell yeah. Norm, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Normal Snow, and you can just generally find me in the Discord.
Perfect. And last but not least, G, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hi, I'm G, your friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You'll find me on all things unMadeGaming, playing for Patreon stuff and modding for the streams. Next weekend, like I said, last game, we have one of our Patreon one-shots next Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have the next episode of Tari Twilight, Age of Always. And so you'll find me in that one as well. And you'll find me in the Discord all the time.
Hell freaking yes. With that, that's all we got. I hope you enjoyed this game. Hope you enjoy more of this. We'll see some more Vaesen on the channel eventually, I promise. But that's it from us. So from all of us to you guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.